Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the 808 podcast where I interview business owners, CEOs, and whoever else I feel like. It's 4 questions, 8 minutes and 8 seconds because 808 looks like Bob. And here we go. Question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what do you do?
Well, Bob, I'm Kevin Thompson, and I co-founded a group called Tribe for Leaders. And what we do in that group is we facilitate connections for high-level entrepreneurs and CEOs, and then share in the revenue that comes as a result of those connections.
Awesome, Kevin. Let's get right to question number 2. What advice would you like to share? Go for it.
Okay, so here's the deal. When people always ask me about, okay, Kev, how do you connect with so many entrepreneurs and CEOs and make those valuable relationships with them? It all comes down to appreciation, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
And there is not a person on the face of this planet that gets enough appreciation. And especially when it comes to busy entrepreneurs who are running successful businesses and all that, people reach out to them all the time. You want to connect with these people, you want to start a relationship, but a lot of times they get reached out to in the wrong way.
Right.
Maybe somebody reach out and say, hey, we should do this thing together, or if you helped promote me, we'd make all this money together. And the reality is, they don't need our help in making money usually.
Right.
They've kind of got that figured out for their own. But when you lead with appreciation, when you just let someone know that you genuinely appreciate them for something, whether it was an article that you saw them write, whether it was a video that you saw them post somewhere, whether it was a comment on social media, whatever that is,
Mm-hmm.
when you reach out with appreciation, just let them know one thing that you genuinely appreciate about them. You're going to get far more traction than you will trying to do it any other way. And I have been doing this for years, and that's how I've opened so many doors. And if you want, I'll give folks an actual thing they can do right here, right now to experience that for themselves.
I would love that. Before you do, I want to give an example of what I actually did in the pre-production of our podcast.
Okay.
We were having our conversation. You mentioned that you had grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, you don't look like your grandfather. That was a compliment, made you smile.
Absolutely. Yeah, that made me feel really good.
Yeah. So let's give some actionable steps to the audience.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, nobody gets enough appreciation. You have a cell phone with contacts in it right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got plenty of people in there that you know of or what have you. And the reality is this can be other entrepreneurs, other business owners. It can even be with people who are not entrepreneurs or business owners, but in your life. And what I want to challenge you to do is over the next 24 hours, I want you to send some messages to people in your life. And you let them know in that message one thing that you genuinely appreciate about them. And you're not going to do anything else. You're not going to ask for anything in return. You're not even going to ask for a response in return, but just send out some love, send out some appreciation. Do that with a minimum of 10 people in the next 24 hours. If you want to do more, great.
Right.
But do it with a minimum of 10 people and you watch what happens. Now, you're not going to hear back from everybody, but you're going to hear back from some people and you're going to have an experience, and so are they. And I'm going to tell you, something great will come from that. It'll further your relationship with them. It might rekindle a relationship that you thought was maybe damaged in some way. But what I will promise you, amazing things will come from this, and it's going to give you an experience that lets you know what, I want to do a whole lot more of that. I need to be doing a whole lot more of that. And so that's my challenge for everybody listening, Bob.
I love it there. Let's get to question number 3. So what other top CEOs, business owners, or influencers that you know are successful just like you that you would like to give a shout out to and should be a guest on my podcast?
So when you ask that question, there's a whole ton of people that would come to mind, but some of the top people in my world, if you don't know them, a gentleman by the name of Dan Kushel is an absolutely brilliant marketer. He also runs a podcast of his own. I don't think he's been on your show, but he would be a great person.
Doesn't sound familiar, so probably not.
Awesome. And then my partner, Jules Duncan Hale, She is a brilliant strategist, and she has helped so many people in our world, and she would be a great guest for the show as well.
Perfect. I will look them up here. Number 4, final fun question. So Kevin, tell me about your first sale.
My first sale, oh my gosh. I would, when I was a kid, I would just go around our neighborhood in the summertime trying to earn extra money and mowing lawns for our neighbors up and down our street and stuff. And I built a pretty successful business as a young kid. I didn't even realize that what I was doing at the time, but just mowing lawns for the neighbors. And, that was my first time ever selling. And I think kind of a big part of what led me into the entrepreneur world, and so, yeah.
Perfect. There. Love it. So Kevin, you now have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. We
Awesome.
can do some promo time. You can ask me a question. You can talk about your grandkids or whatever. Or since the best know when to be concise and when to end, we end early, go for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, Bob, I would like to ask you, you've been doing this for how many episodes of this podcast have you done now?
So I originally started as the 808, switched to the On Fire B2B podcast. I'm going back to the 808, kind of a mixture of the two. So I've done about 1,400 podcast episodes total since October of 2018.
Wow. And so what motivates you to do this?
Networking.
Okay.
Because here's the idea is I know we met at a podcast mixer, but let's just say that I saw you on LinkedIn. Most people, when they approach you, it's Kevin, I just met you and I want to talk to you and get to know you, which we all know what that actually means is I want to sell you. Or Kevin, I have a brand new widget. Would you like to learn more about it? Which again, is just, you're probably going to say no to that because you got 20 of those last week.
Yep.
So the idea being is leading with a podcast increases my network. I treat this just as I would live networking.
Yeah.
Because the idea being is there are certain reasons that you'll want to meet someone for drinks afterwards. And my idea is the people I meet for drinks are the ones I get on the podcast.
Yeah. What a brilliant thing. And then the thing is that allows you to lead with value first.
Absolutely.
That allows you to give to others first. And then in return, people are just like, wow, what a nice guy. And so now they're open to having more of a conversation.
Right.
And so that's kind of like your version of doing the same thing I do, is lead with value first.
Exactly.
And then that's how you start a really valuable relationship. And of course, those relationships can end up being very long-term. And I don't know how much time we got left, but
we got 40 seconds. You want some promo time?
People can go check out Tribe for Leaders. I don't do a heavy promo for that because it is a by invitation kind of thing. But if they like what they see there, if they feel that it might be a right fit, then yeah, would be more than happy to have a conversation. So
perfect. You pulled it off. That is 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. And why is it 8 minutes and 8 seconds?
8 minutes and 8 seconds because 808 looks like Bob.
Absolutely. Kevin, say your website real quick.
TribeForLeaders.com.
In the description, it's magic there. Kevin, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. There we go. And for everyone else watching or listening, I am legally required to tell you to like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever the heck the social media network tells you to do. You all have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.